Anyways. Hello everyone, welcome to the Quick Attack Podcast. We recently just had a Nintendo Direct, so that's basically what this podcast is going to be, aside from some other things. But we also have a star on the guest. Say hello.
Hello.
He's a star.
I'm
He's
a star
on the guest.
On the guest?
He's a star on the guest.
I can't
I'm a star on
English, you
guest.
already know that.
Welcome to the Quick Attack Podcast.
Welcome to the Star Pod Guest featuring...
This is Caleb from Happily Ever After Gaming, a good friend of ours, as some of you may know from our previous mentionings of him. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you for welcoming me in that very pristine way.
Oh, well, you know, we're always professional. We always like to keep it as professional as possible.
I really just want to, cut to, a bunch of clips where, James is eating chips in the backgrounds of our video.
Oh, why don't you cut to those clips of you and James on late night Twitch streams?
Oh, no. I think the video would be taken down.
I can't forget. I can't remember what it was that I had said, but there was something I had said the last time James and I were on our way out to you guys. That James literally stopped the car and was like, "That was me and Jeremy late night Twitch shit right there." I wish I could remember what it was I said, but it was enough to make James literally stop.
Dang.
Anyways, how we're gonna kind of do this, because he's new to the podcast. We're gonna kind of walk through our usual formula, and then once we're done one step, we'll just go over to him to do his version of that. Sound good?
No, of course not. That sounds terrible. God, learn English.
How dare you?
Yeah, most of my ideas. In fact, this whole podcast was a bad idea. See you later, everyone.
Yeah.
Signing off.
Okay, so what we like to start with is a little bit of what's going on with our channel type of thing. So, first thing I kind of want to just bring up in passing, that solo Let's Play thing I mentioned earlier, I do have an idea of what game I'm going to do. It's narrowed down to a couple. Mostly basing it off the fact that this will be my first time doing a Let's Play just by myself commentating, so I tried to pick a game that I might be able to have, a fair amount of things to talk about just by myself, before getting into something that I have to do a bunch of research for or whatever, just for my first one.
Yakuza 4. I'm sorry, I had to.
I decided it went so well the first time that I should redo it. It went super good the first time. No footage was missed. Sega did not take down a part worldwide. It was best Let's Play. Anyway, the next thing I kind of wanted to segue into, and we'll talk a little bit more about it later, the possibilities of what we might do with Dark Souls 3. Last time I just said, when we got to Dark Souls 3, something will be done with it, something. The two possibilities, and no, this doesn't really answer any questions, but because Dark Souls 2 we Let's Played, but Bloodborne we completely streamed, so we're not really positive what we want to do with that yet. We'll probably have to wait and see how we feel once it's released. But either way, something will be done with it. And last but not least, as you've probably noticed by now, we're probably going to start trying to do more podcasts than what we've been doing. It's a nice, fairly easy way to get more content out there. So, yeah, we'll probably start doing that. And now,
Nice.
I will let Mr. HAPEVAF talk about his channel.
All right, so yeah, Happily Ever After Gaming is going through a little bit of a transformation right now. It doesn't seem like it to the viewer because, months and months ago, I recorded so much footage that I was able to schedule footage out until June. So there's a ton of content every day. But we haven't actually worked on anything in weeks. We actually just started getting into some stuff that'll be coming out much later. We're trying to shift away from Let's Plays. We're going to focus more on highly edited content. So it's not going to be just a recording and then throwing it on YouTube like it has been lately. We're going to do more compilations, cut the filler, cut the crap. Just, more enjoyable viewing experience. We've shifted gears to Facebook, however. Facebook has definitely grown. It's taken off out of nowhere. It's our YouTube is struggling around 130 subscribers. and our Facebook has blown up to like 2,400 subscribers or followers or whatever, likes. I don't know whatever they call it. Twitch is still like a weekly thing, so we'll be streaming whenever we play anything, really. But yeah, there's not a set schedule for the Twitch. I can't make a promise on that. But just expect, right now we're doing a little bit of The Walking Dead Telltale Games, and that's going to be a highly edited series. It's probably not going to be out for a while, but that's definitely the next step on our channel. And then Dark Souls 3 is going to hit, and I'm going to be torn between actually playing it and then editing content for
Yeah,
it.
right?
And I have to go to work still, so I mean that's going to consume my soul for at least a month and a half, I'd say.
You'll
But-
go hollow.
Yes,
You'll
I'm
lose your
gonna go
souls
hollow.
over and over.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, it doesn't get more hype than Dark Souls 3, so that's probably gonna be 3-4 months worth of content just out of that. So
If not
just
more.
be prepared. Yeah, just be prepared.
I don't know how much you've seen about Dark Souls 3 recently, but I just saw a very good portion of it, and there's some shit that you are going to lose your fucking mind at.
Yeah, I checked it out. I tried to hold off on the spoilers. I was gonna try really hard, but I couldn't do it. Like, it's just I'm itching for it.
All
I'm
right,
like, "Ugh."
before you guys cut into
Yeah.
that, because I can feel it. I also want to mention that Steven, if you guys don't know who he is, he's a guy who did the Fallout 3 Let's Play on our channel and never
And
finished it.
Yakuza 4, Jeremy.
And Yakuza 4. How
Don't
could I
forget the
forget
most
about that amazing
successful-
series, the one that almost did get taken down by Sega worldwide. Anyways,
Literally the only Let's Play that we backed down from.
But anyways, he's actually hit a point in his life where he's pretty happy with himself, and he's at a very relaxing point right now. So he wants to sit down and record some more Fallout 3 and finish that series for you guys. And I should also mention I'm really, really close to finishing the top 100 games. I have midterms this week, so we'll see how rough that is. And if it's not as rough as I think it will be, the top 100 video should be released within 1 to 2 weeks. I don't think it'll take any more time than that, because I'm really close to being finished.
Also, not to just completely cut away from that, but as you were talking about Steven with that Fallout 3, if people are wondering why that just stopped on the channel, I believe it was because he hit a game-crippling bug that he couldn't get around.
Yeah, that's right. His game
And-
crashed and his save
yeah.
file just went away, and he's like, well, I
And
really
so
don't want
he
to
would have
spend
had to
10 hours.
completely restart.
Man.
So that's why. And then, yeah, I'm pretty glad to hear that he's thinking about getting back into it, because that was actually a pretty interesting series. I didn't mind watching it myself. Upcoming titles would be the next section that we normally go into. This one's going to be much shorter this time because we just did a podcast a couple days ago. Just going over a couple of the things we saw at Nintendo Direct and one other game. Star Fox Zero, we saw a lot of at the Nintendo Direct, and I wish I could be happier about it. I'm still excited. It still looks good. But I'm still butthurt about that Direct because I just completely ignored the fact that Zelda exists.
What are you talking about? Twilight Princess, bro.
I have Twilight Princess sitting next to me right now. I've got fucking Twilight Princess. It's on the shittiest version of it on the Wii, mind you, but...
But yeah, Star Fox Zero looks good. I mean, the only complaint I really have about it is that it's going to look more like a Star Fox 64 game, which a lot of people prefer, but I actually really enjoyed the Assault series where, it was a storyline. It wasn't just, shooter, on to the next level shooter. It actually had, a story, so that's kind of disappointing. But it looks like it has a shit ton of content in it.
Well, I mean, Star Fox 64 has a story with it too, obviously, but... it's much more cinematic, it seems, in Assault, where, you move from section to section. One section, you're in an R-Wing pilot, dogfight type of deal. Another section, you're in a landmaster or on foot. Yeah, it's much more cinematic, I found, for Assault, and I really did like Assault. But visually, Star Fox Zero looks pretty nice.
That's polished. It looks good.
I mean, it better.
It's
Right?
been delayed 3 times.
So, I'm happy that it looks like it should. That's what I'm saying.
Bringing up another game that's coming up recently is Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, I forgot to write that one down.
So, like,
I
everyone
forgot
was
about
like, yeah, super hype, until Jacob from our channel watched the Japanese one, and apparently it had more content. And, so what do you do to make an RPG better? Probably just get rid of the whole entire RPG manner and just forget about XP and leveling up entirely, because that would be a great idea. Yeah, no, that's actually what they did. There's no such thing as leveling up.
What?
Yeah, when you defeat...
Hang on.
No, when you defeat someone,
hang on.
you just get items and fucking coins. There's no such thing as leveling up.
Why? Dude.
I don't know.
Don't they know why RPGs are addictive?
Sticker Star.
Okay, let's not talk about Sticker Star.
This literally sounds worse than Sticker Star.
It's probably going to be, because I was like, no, you're a liar, until I looked at it, and like, when Mario comes on like the island, he already starts at 50 HP, so I'm like, yeah, that makes sense that there's no leveling, actually.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
It's like, fuck, that's so dumb.
That's
I said
stupid.
before with Sticker Star, I've never seen a video game or an RPG so actively disencourage battling, but this takes it to another level where literally nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your motivation here?
Coins.
Money. Oh, God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
How would you stop? You don't spend any money on that, and you spend the rest of your money showing us anything about Zelda.
I think they just got, like, rid of the whole entire RPG factor with the game.
Why, though? Why?
Maybe they're pulling the whole Rare thing, and they're just gonna say that fans don't want RPGs anymore. Fans don't want platformers anymore.
Fans don't want Banjo and Kazooie, so here's nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
What
So
fans
look at our
want?
nuts.
What fans want is their classic characters, and then you throw them into a race car and give them all sorts of stupid weapons.
Yeah.
Paper Mario's probably going to have a paper race car.
No,
That's actually going to be the name of the game. Paper Paper Car. That's going to be the name of the game. Sticker Car. It's almost Sticker Star, but not quite.
Sticker car. Nice.
Moving on to other disappointments. Metroid Federation Force.
It looked fun.
I disagree.
The graphics in general, I don't like, but like the multiplayer looks solid.
Why are they
visually,
first-person shooters?
it's just so unappealing to me visually. Like, there's not a whole lot of games that I can look at more and just go, I hate everything aesthetically about this.
Yeah. I didn't care for it.
I'm sure it's gonna play fun. They've been working on it for as long as they've said they've been working on it. And there's some neat ideas in there, but just visually, oh my god, I want to vomit just looking at it. It's not good. It's not visually what I would want from a Metroid game. It's not visually what I'd want from anything. So, I'll look up reviews and see if that game's any good. I'm not going to be playing it. Anyways, the next game I have marked down here, which now we can get into talking about a little bit more, Dark Souls 3.
I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and talk about it. I have heard literally nothing about this game. I've been trying to not hear spoilers, but now I have to edit this shit. So
Jeremy, here's the thing: you've got to finish Dark Souls 1 now, because there is so much that you won't appreciate unless you finish Dark Souls 1 with me.
At least just watch somebody play it. Come on.
Did you see some of the returning characters, Caleb?
Oh my god, yeah, did I see them? Oh.
I lost my shit when that lift came down.
Oh my god, on the lift. Are we keeping this podcast spoiler free?
I don't even... spoiler warning right now, if you don't want spoilers, click away.
Oh man, Dark Souls 3. We are in a place called Lothric, which sounds vaguely familiar. It's like if you combined the names of the worlds from the first game and the second game. It's kind
No,
of
no, no,
kind of
no.
weird.
The place is called Wandor. Lothric is the king, dude, isn't he?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Londor.
Because yeah, it's
And
Anor
Orlandor.
Londo. It is Anor
And
Londo, but this is,
Orlando.
does
Well,
this
there
game
is
take
actually-
place? I'm confused. Actually, I have a question for you about this. Does the game take place before Dark 1? Or does it take place directly after Dark 1?
Based on the content, I don't think it's directly after. I think it's much later. Seeing
can't-
the status of some of the characters makes me think it's much later.
It
mean-
was just, I couldn't tell if Londor was supposed to be like before Anor Londo and Hades Tower, or if it was supposed to be like the middle transition stage. I couldn't tell.
It's kind of weird because like the area and I mean I heard this from a famous YouTuber, but it does look reminiscent of the new Londo area of Dark Souls 1, which is flooded, and you do drain it and it's like destroyed. So that makes it seem like it's in the future, or I mean in the past. But the fact that some of these characters are like changed makes me
Yeah,
think it's
a
in
lot
the
of their
future.
scenarios are kind of like in a weird parallel flip.
I mean, going back to Dark Souls 1, that was a common thing as well. Like the DLC content for the Prepare to Die edition
Yeah, yeah.
is in way in the past. So it's not, the timeline is kind of a blur in Dark Souls universe anyway.
Well, yeah, naturally. We know Dark Souls 2 takes place after Dark Souls 1. That's about it.
Yeah. Because there is a few references back, but
What I'm really hoping for Dark Souls 3 is that it'll connect the two together a little bit better. A lot of people I know would rather it just like break away and be its own thing. And so, like, I've seen a lot of people upset that, of course, you have the same blacksmith and you've got Sigmar running around. That's, by the way, that's the straight up spoilers right there.
yeah. Andre.
But I would prefer that they do that and then like have a chain link that will like connect it a little bit more clearly. Like with Hades Tower of Flame, a lot of people were really a little bit rustled at just seeing the old Dragon Slayer there. Just fucking, he's right there.
Yeah.
But not really having enough to connect what happened between Dark 1 and Dark 2 to make that Hades Tower of Flame. Yeah. So I would really like if they like put that chain link right there to really solidly connect the two and make, I don't want to say make Dark Souls 2 worthwhile, but from a Souls story perspective, make Dark Souls 2 worthwhile.
Right.
Because I'd really just like a concrete. This is how.
Right. Just explain it for us, please.
And from a
Hold my
Dark
hand
Souls
up.
from a Dark Souls perspective, they're not just gonna explain shit to us.
Nope, not at
They
all.
never.
Not at all.
It's just wishful thinking on my part, but
Yeah.
that's what I would hope for.
So I'm not excited that hexes are back.
Me either.
No, hexes could have stayed gone. Could have stayed in Dark Souls 2. I also, the thing that I'm actually most excited about, and I don't know if I've ever talked about this with you guys, but the reason that like Dark Souls 1 just like, I don't know, it totally like consumed me is because the world in the game is interconnected to a level that's unparalleled in any video game. I mean,
yeah.
you can get to anywhere from anywhere. The map is vertical. It's not like just a flat ground like, an old RPG like Morrowind or something. It's just a big flat world. Everything is like in layers and you can get to them from each other. And that's
Which,
the real
to be
drawback.
fair, that does create some impossible space that bugged some people, but it never bothered me.
Definitely didn't bother me. It was my favorite part. Dark Souls 2 kind of lost that, but they gave you fast travel from the beginning, which I guess was their like answer to the fact that they didn't do that. But it is back for Dark Souls 3. It is apparent that the world is going to be like Dark Souls 1, interconnected. You're going to be able to do that. Same kind of feel. It's going to be just a downward connection now. Whereas in Dark Souls 1, you're like working your way up to Anor Londo. In Dark Souls 3, you're going to be coming down.
Yeah. And that goes with the thing that I noticed there's a lot of like flip scenarios in it. Like the biggest one I have for an example is when in Dark Souls 1, I forget the name of the guy, but there's that enemy that when you go there, Sigmaier's sitting there, and you kind of want to plot out how you're going to do it, and Sigmaier just fucking charges in,
Yeah.
and he goes for it. In this, there's a reverse situation where there's a big enemy down there, and you talk to Sigmaier, and Sigmaier goes, "Well, we better plan and think this out." And then what you have to do from there is you have to charge in, and then Sigmaier follows you.
Right. Oh, that's so awesome. It's
And
ridiculous.
it doesn't give you any sort of hint like, "Oh, you better just charge this thing." You're just supposed to know, like, "Oh,
Right.
this is the reverse of what happened in Dark 1, so obviously this would be my next step." And Sigmaier goes like, "Oh, what's wrong with you? You should have waited."
Right. Which is exactly how you felt when you see him just jump down in the hole in the Lost Izalith.
That was another thing that kind of made me think maybe it takes place before Dark 1, because if Sigmaier like goes through that, maybe he was inspired by that or something,
Yeah,
and then in Dark Souls 1 being like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this thing that I saw this cool guy do once."
They call you the champion of Ash in this game. They refer to you that as a lot. I mean, a lot. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe we were burned to death or something. It came back out of the ashes.
Yeah, it looks like I had a hard time connecting it story-wise in my head, because it looked like from the very beginning you rose out of the ashes. I don't know if that means you tried to link the fire,
Right.
and then you were reborn.
But some spoilers that were leaked early in this game's like hype building stage here, a few months ago. They call you the they like refer to you as like the what is it, the unkindled flame or something.
The unkindled, I think is just what it's called.
So what, are you like a fire? Are you a bonfire? Are we playing as a bonfire?
If you noticed, your character does always, like, he's always on fire a little bit. Like like when you're running, you'll see ash and like sparks and stuff coming from your character, and if you look in, like, if you got a cape on, you'll see like a little burn in the cape and little bits of fire coming off of it. At least from what I saw. So, maybe you might be playing as a fucking bonfire. I don't know. Bonfire Chan confirmed.
Yeah. And then something I'm really excited about, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but in Dark Souls 1, like, I really wanted to use a big heavy weapon, but like in PvP, they're like utter garbage. They're useless, and everybody used the same thing. In Dark Souls 3, they have like made heavy weapons viable. Like, you can actually hold your own with them, because they added like tracking to it, where if you're locked onto your target and he rolls around you, your camera and your weapon swing is going to pan with him, and it's going to like pull your sword around mid attack and hit this guy if he comes behind you. So that's something I'm super hyped about. You get to use big swords, big axes, big.
You run around as Guts.
Yeah.
Combat wise, there's something I saw that got me pretty excited, mostly because I know it's something Jeremy will actually really like, and that's that having a bow and arrow equipped to you almost seems like a combat necessity.
Yes.
Because you can back up from your opponent now and get a lot of quick shots off on them with the bow and arrow.
Right.
And it's really useful. Like, it's an actual style that's completely viable now.
Yeah.
Like in Dark 2 and in Dark 1, you couldn't really back up, do the slow-ass shot, and then keep going with that. It wasn't a viable way to...
Are you trying to say, like, as you're backing up, it actually aims for you? Like,
well,
self-aims?
No, you have to be locked
You're
on.
locked.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
But and it's not like
you're
one
locked in
shot
the
that
middle.
you load up and then it takes 10 seconds to shoot. You're
It's
like...
quick. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was
you get
one
to be-
thing I
you get
missed
to
in
be a
your
cool
Let's
guy.
Play was bow and arrows, but they fucking just did guns instead, and I was like, well...
I admire the idea, and it worked well. They did it well. I just don't... I think guns are lame. In comparison to, like, bows and arrows.
That's basically how they implemented the bows in the new game, though, in my opinion. It's like just a little bit slower than a gun, but it works kind of similar to the blood.
Like, you just have the animation of you grabbing the arrow and putting it in. That's the difference. Is you got to load your bow first.
Right.
Combat-wise, what else? The backstabs. The backstabs look much better.
They're optimized.
Much better.
Yeah.
There's times in every Souls game I've ever played where it's like, I should have gotten a backstab there.
Right.
And I didn't. And even if I get the kill, it's still like, I really wanted that backstab.
Especially if you're playing a spear class in DS2.
Yeah, we did have that issue, didn't we?
So
Spoiler,
Firelink's back.
Oh yeah, Firelink's back.
Yeah, and it's got candles, so it's setting the mood.
About you saying the world is much more like Dark Souls 1, I actually heard of a lot of people saying the world is actually a lot more reminiscent of Demon Souls in the way that you've got your main hub sort of separate from everything, and the main hub area reminds a lot of people of that, and then you go off into the interconnected world.
Well, I can't speak to Demon Souls because I've never played it.
Well, in Demon Souls, it's like you have your world, and I'm speaking very loosely here because I don't know everything about Demon Souls. You've got like the where you go when you die type of deal, and you can travel back to like that hub.
Yeah.
Of like the spirit world or whatever, and that's where you level up and you store items and everything like that. But yeah, from what I heard from people that have been playing Dark 3 already, they've been saying that it's a lot like that, where you have your hub world and then you can go off into the interconnected world apart from that.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it either way. There's a lot of things I want answered at this point. There's a lot of things I wanted answered as soon as I saw Sigmire come down that lift.
Yeah. That was hilarious, by the way.
I lost my shit.
He's like, I can't figure out how this thing works. Oh, and Japan is getting the game March 24th, so that's a thing. A-holes.
Yeah, we gotta wait like almost an extra month.
Yeah.
We got it April 12th, I think.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks. Son, I am disappointed.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about that, but my birthday is on the 17th of April, so it kind of works out perfectly in a way.
Is that what you're gonna do on your birthday? Is just play Dark Souls 3?
What I did on my birthday last year was just play Bloodborne.
All right.
I got Bloodborne on my birthday last year, and then that's when we started streaming it, and then we didn't stop until, like, May something. Level Up Lady looks pretty generic in this one, though. Not sure how I feel about her.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that aspect of Dark Souls 2.
Like, I didn't... Well, it was an aspect of Demon Souls 2. You had the main in black lady that would level you up.
Yeah.
And then it went to Dark Souls 1 where they were just like, just let them do it at the bonfire at their own leisure. Which, let's be honest, that was the best idea.
I mean, it makes it a little more casual, I guess, but...
I believe they just started doing it for level up waifus. Because then you had Emerald Herald, and you had the doll in Bloodborne, and now you've got this new lady that I don't know a whole lot about.
Epic memes out there.
I don't know. She seems like she's sort of on the Emerald Herald level. I think she was a firekeeper.
Yeah.
I think she's a firekeeper, and she levels me up.
She was talking about that, so...
Yeah. But, I don't know. I don't know if her story's going to be as interesting as some of the other ones. The doll, by far, is the most interesting story behind her.
Yeah, and it
From
comes up
Bloodborne.
with some very creepy Rule 34.
Oh, fucking Garmin, you motherfucker. Anyways, I think we've talked enough about Dark Souls 3. We'll gush about it. We'll gush about it more in a later podcast, I'm sure. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about, we probably should have said Dark Souls 3 for last, but A Link to the Past is coming on the 3DS, and that's just swell.
Yeah.
Well, not just A Link to the Past.
A lot of other games, but A Link to the Past is the one that when we saw, we went, ooh!
Yeah, that's actually really awesome, man. I fucking love A Link to the Past.
I can foresee road trips in which A Link to the Past keeps me happy.
Yeah.
When did they say that's coming out? I probably should
I
have paid
think it was
attention.
like after the Direct, I'm pretty sure. They said it'd be available.
I thought some games were coming out faster than than others, though.
No, they were all in one go. Also, Super Mario World's on the thing now, too. It was like F-Zero, Super Mario World, Link to the Past, Earthbound. Can't remember the other ones, though.
Wait, Earthbound coming to the 3DS store? Does that mean Mother 3?
Oh, confirmed.
Does that mean it's confirmed, guys?
No. Fuck you, Jacob.
He's never gonna get it. Nintendo's not gonna do shit for him. They can't even show us footage of Zelda, which was supposed to come out 2 years ago. They're not gonna fucking do Mother 3. That's not gonna happen.
It's okay, they'll just show Zelda U at the E3, and then they'll be like, this will be released in 2020.
If you're lucky. If you're good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
If you're good and you all buy every Nintendo title from now on, then it come out.
I'm really hoping that it comes out, like, this new Nintendo console comes out, and it's just, like, no gimmicks, and it's just a game console again. I really, really hope so.
It's not gonna happen, though. Nintendo's all about their gimmicks.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's fine.
I'm tired of the gimmicks.
But they don't want to be boring, is all.
Yeah, they just
Like-
don't want to make consoles the same.
And I can understand that. I really can. I would just like if maybe they made their next console a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's never bugged me that much, it's just, for me with consoles, it's more about what games are on it. I don't get all this stuff about, it needs to be able to go on Twitch and it needs to be able to stream whatever. It should be about the games primarily. And I think Nintendo probably has some of the better exclusives on the Wii U right now. But on the other hand, I would really like to see what a more powerful version of some of those games would look like. And like, obviously you have Splatoon that looks awesome and runs at 60 FPS and it's just a great game. So imagine what it could look like.
Nintendo hasn't had much of a problem presenting us with fantastic gameplay. It'd be nice if it had some more appealing visuals than we've seen.
Like, honestly, in terms of the console war, it's fine. I just don't understand how anybody can defend Xbox at this point. Like, anyone who defends Xbox to me is someone that doesn't care about the video games in the current gen. Because it has the least exclusives by far. It has the least valuable exclusives by far, at least in my opinion. And I don't know.
What are you talking about? Halo 5 was a huge hit.
What are you talking about? That collection of all those Halo games that was released that was fucking broken and nobody could go online for it? That was great.
No. Yeah, I'm out of the loop on the console war anyway.
Like, it's fine if you're like a Sony person or a Nintendo person. I just don't get the Microsoft people right now. It's like everything that you could play that's worthwhile, you could probably just get on PC. At the very least, or
Xbox
PS4.
is talking about connecting the two now and making.
It's not surprising me.
There's going to be Microsoft exclusive graphics cards and different processors that you can buy from them for ridiculous amounts and slap them in your Xbox One.
Because at the end of the day, an Xbox One is just a bad PC.
Yeah, why
It's a
would
bad
you?
PC.
Why play on inferior hardware?
And it's kind of the same thing for the PS4, but the PS4 does have some system exclusives that are really solid.
Bloodborne
Like
alone.
Bloodborne alone is worth.
Like every time I don't have a PS4 and I've never played Bloodborne, and every time I walk past
We
any
gotta
store
get you
that
playing
sells a
Bloodborne.
PS4, I'm like itching. I'm like talking myself down because I don't have the funds. Like I could just go in there. I could take the money out of savings. We could do that.
See, that's where I'm lucky. I don't own a PS4. All of my Bloodborne playthrough. I just bought Bloodborne on my birthday that one year. I just went in and I got Bloodborne and Shin Megami Tensei 4, I think, that day. And I walked out and I went over to a buddy's, and all of us came over and we started streaming on that person's PS4. But I don't own a PS4. I don't have to talk myself down when I walk past stores because I'm like, oh, PS4, and then I reach in my pockets and I'm like, right, 0. All right, move on. That was less sad than I expected, but still more sad than I hoped.
Depression.
Yeah, just smile and move on like nobody saw me reach into my pockets at all.
You don't know depression until you see me face Smog and Ornstein.
Oh,
No, that's
man,
not
I wish I
depression.
could see that.
That's pure unbridled rage. That's what
You should
that
have
is.
seen me on Small and Ornstein on my level 1 character.
Ooh.
It only took me 75 attempts though, so it wasn't too bad.
I think it probably took us more. on our
Much.
level up.
Much more.
There was literally a
it's
point.
So much fun.
There was a point where other people in Jeremy's place were offering him pills because he was freaking out so much. They're like, "Do you need like a
The
pill to
buffering
calm
on the
down?"
rolls are so shit! Ah!
Jeremy, to be fair, we are playing it on PS3.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See, that's the issue, and I've never played it on the console, but playing it default on the PC is probably the same, and it's not very smooth. So
Well, the fact that you got to put in a thing to fix it on the PC kind of bugs me.
yeah,
But
yeah, I understand that.
all in all, there were some things me and Jeremy disagreed about very heavily about Dark One, and there's some things that we agreed about very heavily in Dark One. The main thing that me and Jeremy got into a little bit of the most argument me and Jeremy have ever had, at least, about the bosses between Dark 1 and Dark 2, in which I said they are vastly superior in Dark Souls 1, and Jeremy said they're not that much better. To which I disagree with. But he's got a couple points that I respect. I still disagree with, but I respect.
Well, let's not get into our differences here on Dark Souls 1 because this will continue for another 3 hours.
This would go on for a while. It would go on for a while, and it would be like the same argument being said from both sides over and over again.
Yeah. Until we just
hoping-
hated each other and then we'd never talk again.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not do that to ourselves.
At the end of the day, what I'm just saying is, I don't necessarily think Dark 1's a completely better game. I know, get your pitchforks ready. But I think they both have their things that they do vastly superior to each other.
Yeah,
I
they each have their strengths and weaknesses.
I think Dark 2's is much more convenient, way more accessible. Dark 1's is just way cooler. The way I described it to Jeremy is that Dark 1 is my fashion Souls, where even though it's not the most effective, and I probably won't even have as good of a time going back to it, I'll still probably continue to play that one more. Maybe this happened without me, but I remember a whole session of us streaming, of me and James trying to get you to play PT, and you were going, no, I'm not gonna. And me and James were like, oh, let's do it. I remember that very vividly. You can ask James.
I don't know, I'm not really scared of horror games, so...
Maybe it was a fever dream.
It was probably after you put mustard on my face, you fucking...
It was,
douchebag.
it was probably after you put mustard on your face. Does Caleb know that story?
No.
One of our streams, Jeremy was asleep, and chat started saying things we should do to Jeremy, and one person says you should put mayonnaise on Jeremy's face. And I know Jeremy hates mayonnaise, so I was like, yeah, we'll avoid the mayonnaise. And James is like, well, what does he have in his fridge? I was like, I don't know, he's got like ketchup maybe. And James was like, or mustard. And then James got the mustard and live on stream just started caking Jeremy's face with mustard.
Oh.
Jeremy wasn't waking up. So James at one point, he straight up just put mustard on his fingers and put it right underneath Jeremy's nose. Still didn't wake up. By the time Jeremy woke up, it was dry to his face.
Oh, God.
And where we were at the time, the town had had their water cut off.
Oh my God.
He couldn't even go wash it off properly.
Oh my
it was
God.
The best. It was the best.
Did you know about the water?
Yeah, we knew.
Oh gosh. All right. I feel for you, Jeremy. That's
I've never
horrible.
wanted to commit murder ever in my life until then.
Now, it was funny because me and James were laughing our asses off with chat, and Jeremy was literally like, I swear to God, I know you guys are having fun right now, but if you do anything like that again, I will literally murder you. I will actually get up.
I was not joking.
and kill you.
You're like, I'll wait till you're sleeping and I'll slice your throat.
Because Brendan doesn't know this, but I hate mustard more than mayonnaise.
I know now. I know now.
How could
I thought-
you? How
I
could
thought-
you?
I
Mayonnaise is...
thought at the time I was helping you out by going, no, not mayonnaise. But
If it
now I
was
know.
ketchup, I would have at least been happy. I love ketchup.
I didn't know that about you at the time either. That was like midway into our friendship.
Probably got
Hey, at
some
least he
like
didn't beef
fries,
stew
cook
ya.
them up, and then just like take some ketchup on my face, eat it.
Wake up, there's ketchup on your face, and you're like, oh, thanks, guys.
Ketchup? My favorite. You knew.
Oh, you. Yeah, I didn't know you hated mustard that much. I didn't know. I just knew about our jokes about getting some mustard. So I thought maybe I learned otherwise. I don't know where to go from here. We just chatted about mustard on Jeremy's face. I don't know the next logical step.
Oh, no.
I guess you could
Thinking
do
about
your
his
game
face being
recommendation.
covered in condiments is making me hungry.
Wow. This conversation's going different places
Send
than I
you pictures
expected.
later tonight, Caleb.
Thank you. I said hungry, but who
No,
knows
no.
how I'll feel
No,
later.
Don't worry.
You said hungry, but what Jeremy heard is thirsty.
Nice.
Anyways, that's the word I'm looking for. Anyways, why don't we go on to the game recommendation now?
All right. Well, if I had to recommend a game that we've played recently, I would recommend Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It's actually a lot of fun. It's very beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. And it's also the saddest thing that you'll ever witness, and you'll want to kill yourself afterward.
Recommended.
So, recommended. 10 out of 10. It was actually my wife's idea to play it. She said that she had already played it and that she wanted to subject herself to it again because she wasn't already sad enough. And I had actually recently been talking to her, and I was like, I haven't played a game that gave me the feels lately. I wonder if there's any games out there that I haven't played could make me emotional, could make me shed a few manly tears. And she said, I've got an idea for you. So we fired up Brothers, and it was sad. It was really sad. It was sad.
Did you ever play Undertale?
Yeah, I did play Undertale. Yeah.
That didn't make you cry manly tears?
I didn't cry, but I felt like an emptiness inside.
It actually makes me feel better that you didn't cry because I didn't cry, and I thought I was just heartless because Jeremy teared up.
I tear back. When
But-
Asriel says I have to go now, and you pat him on the back, I was just like, oh,
Give him a
the feels.
And
Yeah,
then he cried again when he had to kill Papyrus, probably.
No, I fucking murdered everyone.
That's when Jeremy was the least emotional, is when he was murdering
I cried
everybody.
on my 150th attempt on Sans.
Oh, well, that's fair. Wait,
Like-
150? Do you really think you did that much?
No, probably not. It's probably
Oh,
good.
man.
I could do Sans first try.
I couldn't. No, God, no. I'm looking up cheats.
I'm just...
There's gotta be a workaround for this. Somebody got a mod or something. But yeah, Brothers, it was short. Took us about 3.5 hours to complete, and there was some piddling around. So it could definitely be beaten faster. So you might want to wait till it's on a sale. I wouldn't pay full price for it, to be honest. But the gameplay is interesting. It's different. You actually control two characters at the same time. So you're moving one around with your left joystick and one with the right. Really, it took me the first hour and a half to really wrap my brain around it. And I'm just sending my characters off in all different directions. So it's hard to get used to that, but it's very interesting.
Be a fun
And,
co-op game. They introduced co-op.
They should have, but I kind of screwed the pooch on that one. But yeah, it's beautiful. There are some very gorgeous scenery. There's some moments where you might stop and take a screenshot because you could set that as your background. It's really nice. And it doesn't end on a happy note. I'll just tell you that. So you might cry a little bit. And I didn't cry. It hurt though. My wife cried. I think that's why I didn't, because she was sitting next to me and I had to defend honor.
Be the
I had to be
man.
the
Be the
man.
man.
Buff up.
But if I had been in this dimly lit room myself, all alone, in my underwear, I would have bawled.
I like how you had to specify in your underwear.
Don't forget with a bag of Cheetos at the side.
Wiping
Yeah,
my
you're good.
eyes, getting the
Yeah.
Cheeto, the orange Cheeto mist around my eyes.
It
Ugh.
looks like you got Cheeto war paint.
It's like pure Mountain Dew coming out of my eyes. I would give Brothers 4 out of 5 shot glasses full of horse spunk.
Nice. I don't know if that's a good or bad rating.
Yeah, wait. Do you want?
Hey, I said 4 out of 5.
But
Yeah, but
do
like
you
the
want
less
more?
you have.
The more you have, the
I
better.
mean, it kind of less is more sometimes, but
Sometimes,
a little goes a long way with the bulges.
you know. For the first time ever, I'm speechless. I actually do not know the next step to take.
Well,
Do I try to walk right through that bull semen, or do I just go around it? I don't know. I'm not sure.
you dive in face first.
It was very nice having you on, Caleb. We'll have to have you back for future
great.
ones too.
I'm gonna go take a major piss.
You know what? You've earned that. That's your paycheck. That's your paycheck right there for being on with us. You get the right to use your own toilet.
Oh, thank you. I've been dying.
And Jeremy will be sending you 1 cup of bull semen in the mail.
Oh, and send me those pictures, Jeremy. Don't forget.
No problem, man. I got you.
Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
How'd you land this cushy job?
All right, thanks for watching, guys. That was another Quick Attack podcast. We have Caleb's channel and his information down in the description below, so check him out, and we'll see you guys next time.